Alright, welcome everybody to the first turn in the NordicBlitz game. It is now, the whole game has been resolved now, and it took about 8 hours. So here we go, we are gonna do a full battle report on this game here. So 6 players playing in a blitz. In the beginning there was chaos, now the wheel has turned once again. And here we are. This is our map, randomly generated for 15 provinces per player. I think we could go and have a look at the settings. Those are always interesting. Here we go. It doesn't specify anything about the map, but independent strength, everything is at the base, I think. Random events are common. Story events are disabled. Oh, I was told that these would be enabled. I never realized that they were not. Huh. Alright, never mind. Does not matter all that much. View active mods. I didn't know that you could do this. I don't know what the CRC is, but it seems fine. Yeah, everything is fine. Hopefully the music is not too loud. I feel like the music is too loud again. It's so deceptively loud, the music in this game. So I'll turn it down to 5, 4, 5 here. Alright. And here we are. This is our little eeny teeny tiny bitsy island here in the middle of everything. Phaeacia, our home. And we have your mom here ready to move out. And we will... Oh, now I'm playing. I'm not supposed to be playing. I thought it would save all my moves here, but it doesn't seem like it has done that. Interesting. Okay, but we are moving out in turn 1. Of course, this is just to review the map. We can see the other players in Pretenders of the World. We have Ulrich for the nation of Ulm. Or Pretender Ulrich, god of insects, king of blood and perfume. Alright, and Froggy of Cetis, patron of artisans, master of wealth and power, prince of discipline. Juleman, Santa Claus of Pangaea. This is Chris Lighthawk is his YouTube name. Juleman, the god of mountain springs, tamer of demons, the prince knowing the waters, the prince of the winds. Alright. Then Spring Break of Asphodel, the pretender of Spring Break. Oh yes, that's his name. Lord of Magics, Dark Magic, excuse me. Master of the Forest, the Divine Shepherd. Alright, and the Fluffster of Jotunheim, he who runs like an arrow, Prince of Pain, the Evil Prince. Alright. And I think he has a lot of blood magic in his realm. I'm sure about that much. And your mom. Queen of this world, Mistress of War, Keeper of the Guardians of Delight. That's your mom for you. Princess of Revelry. The Watcher of the Gallows. I don't know what that's supposed to mean. Alright, and your mom will be moving out and it's expanding on turn 1. I'm sorry, sad that we can't see the moves that I made. I thought that was a thing. Check in here in Phaeacia turn 2. A lot of people are proclaiming their prophets, so am I. Pramnian, the Phaeacian captain. Jotunheim has a Jotunhearse. Asphodel, a Minotaur Lord. Nice. Pangaea gets a Centaur commander. Cetis, a commander of Cetis. Alright. There was a battle in the Endless Ocean. Let's just have a look at how your mom fights. Your mom is up against a lot of seamen, men from the sea. There is no limit to the amount of seamen that your mom can handle, trust me. So she fights in melee. She doesn't really have any spells to cast at the start here. So they're just running forward. She's coming in with protection 16 against mundane attacks due to her invulnerable trait. She gets a chest wound in the first fight, right? That's not good. Here we go, she's fighting an octopus. Some tentacles for your mom. And then everyone runs away. It's all good. Go to province. So we expanded in here where we had Dominion turn 1. In Dominion's Enhanced, every pretender comes in with recuperation, which allows them to heal affliction over time. So she will get rid of this chest wound. What it does for her is that it gives her 5 encumbrance, which is more of an annoyance than anything. Instead, strength -1. Means she does 1 less damage with all of her attacks. It doesn't really matter all that much. Again, we cannot see her moves here. I thought we were able to see her moves, but it doesn't matter. We are moving in here. Our Dominion is expanding rapidly because we have Dominion 8 in our capital, even though it is at 1 in here. Huh. Maybe we had a bad event? No. And I believe in the first turn... Oh, sorry, this is the second turn, of course. Then I am recruiting Orichalcum Guard in here. And then again, it isn't showing everything that I've done. That's annoying. Alright. But we will for sure be recruiting a Colossi Storm Captain in here. Oh, we did that turn 1. The thing about the Prophet, right, is that he can only sail with units that are max size 2 when sailing normally. Dark Vessels override that rule, but if he wanted to sail to a province like this one over here, he can do that when he's not carrying any Orichalcum Guard, because he has normal sailing, so it's across one sea province. But if he is carrying Orichalcum Guard, he can only travel to provinces where he would be able to travel with the Dark Vessels ability, right? So he would be able to travel here. For this reason, we need to have Colossi Storm Captains to sail around with the Orichalcum Guard and assist the Prophet. The Prophet needs to come with them to bless them, because the Storm Captains do not have any bless ability. They are not Secrets or Priests. Right, so in the first turn, in the second turn here, I'm not attacking either, but we want to build up a little bit of Orichalcum Guard, and then we're moving out in the turn after that. Meanwhile, your mom is expanding over here. That's about it for turn 2. Not much else to note in here. Quit without saving. Go into turn. I call it D party. It's for Danish party. And there's also like a joke in there somewhere, but I was thinking about naming it the Sausage Party, but I mean, there's a point where it gets too silly, right? So, anyway, there was a battle in Oaklands. Your mom is expanding, and let's see, she's on land now. She's up against a bunch of these, what are they called, woodsmen? Yeah, I mean, your mom doesn't really care about this. She can handle it. She moves up, starts to murder, and they run away. She also has a fear aura. She's a pretty scary lady. So yeah. In she goes. They stand their ground for a little bit, and then she murders them. Yep. Nothing much to talk about here. She didn't get any new afflictions, and she got rid of her chest wound, so she's in good shape. But look at this. We have wandered straight into the cap circle of Cetis. He lives here. Like, there was no way for me to know that in the turn before. In fact, I could have gone into the ocean, but it is nice to get your, because the ocean will belong to me. I don't, unless some of the other players have taken underwater capable expander pretenders, the entire ocean will belong to me. So my thinking was I would go on to land here, and because in the early game people don't take provinces from each other, right? So if I can claim some land provinces early on, that would be good for us, and they would sort of become mine. But then I walk right into Cetis' cap circle here, which is unfortunate. Because of course he is not a fan of me staying right here next to him. There's something to be said about maybe even attacking into Cetis here. Right, I could just move in. And I think I could probably destroy his PD in the province, but we can't take Cetis away from him for sure yet. So it would be a pretty rough war, and it would garner me a lot of attention that I don't want. So I don't remember exactly what we do here. I think I actually sent her up here, because she can go there. Because of the Dark Vessels. Here she's using the Dark Vessels, even though she wouldn't be able to move to this province. Normally we have Dominion in both, and I'm pretty sure this is my move up here. In the water, I am immediately starting to recruit Shamblers. I did that last turn, as you can see in here. And I like them. They are decent underwater units, and they are just good combatants. They can walk, they are amphibians, so they can walk up on land wherever I need to raid my opponents or whatever, and they can help me expand in the water. And as Phaeacia, at least through all my testing, I always end up having so freaking much gold in the first 15 turns that I can't spend it all. And so the more we can pump out in other types of troops, the better. In the capital, we now have an extra storm captain. And I'm assuming that I'll be starting... I'll probably go for one Colossi Weaver and then Prince Consorts, but we can see that next turn, I suppose. I don't think there's anything else to talk about here, so we can blaze through these early turns rather quickly. Continue old game. Party 4. Phaeacia. Yes. There was a battle in Darwin. So now we are expanding onto the land with this little island in the south with our Sacreds and starting units. We have one of our Storm Captains here, but we don't really have any spells for them yet, so he's not going to be doing a lot. He's just going to try to stay alive and stay away from this front line. Initially, in my testing, I was trying to send them forward, but then they sometimes die, and that's not worth it at all. So here, the Prophet is the one who, and the Orichalcum Guard are the ones that will do all the work here. And we'll see how it goes. Speed it up a little bit. Now the point here for me is to take as few losses as possible while expanding, right? The Orichalcum Guard should not be able to die, but look at these guys. They are... First of all, I don't know why they are not going for the closest units, because I didn't like a script attack rear as far as I'm aware. But we end up losing a lot of units here in the back, because my low tier guys here end up in the melee that they were not supposed to be in, while the Orichalcum Guard seems to just won't be content with bypassing them entirely. Which is unfortunate. So we end up taking a few losses in our back line. The Orichalcum Guard in the front haven't even gotten wounded. And they're running around with defense skill 17 and protection 23 as we discussed, so they can barely get harmed by these guys. And so I was pretty disappointed with the amount of losses we took here. In fact, we ended up losing 6 units that I felt like we were not supposed to lose at all. And then, if we look in here, we can see my script. Hold and attack, yeah. So they should be apparently on hold and attack closest. So this is a good point to note for the viewer that these turns were, since we were doing a blitz, every turn is played and planned out in less than 5 minutes at this point, maximum. And as I am a slow player and still relatively new to Dominions relative to a lot of other players, my scripting is often really poor and not well thought through, and when I have to rush, I feel like I end up, well, not playing as well as I could have, and planning super efficiently. It's fine, it's applied to everyone throughout this playthrough, right? So it's just something to note. If you see sloppy work, it's probably because of that. And our mom, your mom, is expanding up here. She ends up fighting a group of heavy cavalry here. They are usually pretty scary, and most pretenders would be sad at the prospect of having to expand into a province filled with these heavy cavalry. And look at that, we are taking some pretty nasty hits. We took more than half of her health in damage in the first turn. But these guys, they come in with lances that can only be used once each battle, right? So once she's through that, she's now not taking as much damage anymore. And she's dealing, regenerating a lot. She routs the heavy cavalry, and then these smaller units come in. And with all the attacks, she has 4 attacks every turn. And it just adds up to her murdering left, right, and center. She's a really, really good expander pretender, your mom. Yeah, she's just wreaking havoc. So there you go. And we took that province. Meanwhile, we see Cetis expanding over here. I don't think we spot anything else right away. But at that point, something that's really hard about playing Phaeacia is if I look at these guys here, look at how many provinces I can travel to, right? So you have to make the call. We saw here, by just walking onto a random coast, I suddenly am in a cap circle of another player. Here you go. You can see names of provinces a little further away than you can actually see what is in there and the flags. So we could learn if I had... Okay, but then, because it's a blitz, I don't have time to sit and look for these details. But here you can see that Pangea is in fact here. And Yeah, okay, so you could, if you had the time, you could sit here and look around for names. For example, here we would be able to find Pangea, so then I would know not to, for example, think of expanding in here, right? Because I would go right into Pangea's land, and there's no way that he doesn't want this tile. I don't think that's where I go with these guys, and we will see that next turn, I suppose. In the capital, we are recruiting Prince Consort, so they are being pumped out now. And here in Darwin, right now I'm not recruiting anything in here, at least as far as we can see. I'm annoyed that we can't see that. So I'm learning stuff here, because I'm sure that there's a way for me to record the moves that I do for the turn. That means I have to save, or copy the save files after I've done the moves. So I didn't know that that was actually a thing. But this is the first time me playing a Blitz like this and saving the turn files in the order that I have done in this playthrough. So just bear that in mind, that I am learning stuff here. Continuing into turn number 5. I believe that's where we are. There are now stuff happening. Olm has prophetized a Black Lord, so he kept his profiting off a little bit in order to get it on a Black Lord, which is the world's most beloved hero. Is that really true? Is that like for real in here? No, it's not. Okay, it's not related to anything in here. We already see some people in the Hall of Fame though. Dilmun, which is that was the prophet of Cetis. Medeon here is probably, I think these are all the prophets there must be. Yeah. Except mine. But he hasn't been expanding that aggressively. So yeah, we have Battle in the Oaklands. I didn't really put a lot of PD in here. I did put 6 PD, I suppose. We see Cetis come in and reclaim it. He didn't tell me that he was going to take this back, and I told him that I would be okay with him, us having a peace and not trading territories here. So he takes this from me for free. And I realized in the after action that I should probably have offered to sell it to him for an amount of gold. Instead, he just takes it from me. And I can't be mad. Of course he's gonna take it from me, because it's next to his capital. He needs that for the resources. So I should have... I honestly thought that he wouldn't, but I should of course have realized that he would, and then try to get something out of it. Instead, we end up with this sort of uneasy border with him that is present in the early game. And in fact, it means that I cleared this tile or province for him, and I wasted my second turn of expansion with your mom. So it's a big loss for me that he just takes this province from me. And I wasn't happy, but what can you do? I could go in and attack him again, but it is next to his capital, so he will be able to hold it in the long run. Anyway, we sailed from Darwin to Murias with our prophet, and here you see what I am doing effectively every turn. Well, okay, so apparently not quite yet. And again, we don't see the new recruitment. I'm pretty sure recruiting a new storm captain here. What I'm trying to do, and will be doing throughout the rest of the playthrough, is that I have one group that moves around with the prophet, right? So then we have you need 3 storm captains. One to continually move around and help the prophet sail with the size 3 units. Then you need 1 to go back to pick up the new Orichalcum Guard that is being pumped out. But in that same turn, you need the 3rd one to leave Phaeacia with the newly recruited Orichalcum Guard. So like, imagine this was a storm captain and I wanted to move up here, right? So then it goes like this. Then now this is not a storm captain, so I must have not thought that through. We need 3 storm captains to like cycle them like that, so we always have the newest storm Orichalcum Guard arriving on the front line every turn, while a new one or one of the other transporting units moves back empty-handed, right? So like this is the optimal way to get Orichalcum Guard to the front line all the time. And that is the plan. Apparently not done right now, so we are skipping a turn. I'm not sure if I'm even attacking out this turn. We'll see that in the next episode. Let me stop all this here. So let's just have a look at what else happened. In Murias, we fought with our Orichalcum Guard, with the new Storm Captain coming in with the reinforcements. We're fighting against some independents here again. The Orichalcum Guard runs forward. And again, they should be on attack closest. I didn't realize that they would run to the back line as much as they are doing here. From here on out, it won't be a problem anymore, because I've run out of other units, really, that can be lost. We end up not losing anything here, so it's fine. In the Sea Stag Lake, your mom is expanding. She is up against a bunch of seamen again. Not a problem for her. She can take it. They have lots of attacks, these guys here. Three attacks in total, but they're all super weak attacks. Then they are poisoned. But your mom, the Dorkaina, has poison resistance as a base. And also nature mages get a bunch of poison resistance, so she is very much immune. Oh, but look at that, she's taking a bunch of damage. Alright, she's actually almost dead. Whoops. Yeah. But once again, she lives, and yeah. Like I said, I've never lost her in early expansions, at least underwater. So, it's getting closer than I'd like, I'll admit. There was an unexpected event in the Sea Stag Lake. 373 gold given to me for free here. And so you gotta remember that I have Turmoil 3 and then Misfortune 3. So by no rights should I be getting positive events. But here we go, 373 gold and unrest is lowered. Just like that. Lucky me. In Darwin here we recruited a scout that is landlocked here. For now, if I had Dominion in here, he would be able to use the dark vessels to sail over here and then start exploring the mainland. This is one body of mainland, the only real body. So all the other players are on this big island somewhere. Worth noting. And then the ocean, at least in my mind, belongs entirely to me, unless some of the other guys have gone for underwater expander pretenders, right? So I'm pretty sure I'm actually, in this turn, starting a castle, a palisade out on the island here. We have to remember that we get extra stuff out of coastal castles, and this is a safe location. None of the other players are going to have easy access to this province here. It has a really nice amount of gold already, and it's right next to a throne. I thought this was a perfect location for our first castle. In turn 5 is where we are starting a castle. So, yeah, that's really, really nice. And I'm even recruiting a mounted commander in here. Trolling down here in the endless ocean. And that's it for this turn. What have we started for research? Right, we can talk about the research. I think I did talk about that in the introduction video, but here we are in the actual research tree. Alteration level 1 is the first research goal, because it gives us bark skin and skeletal body. Skeletal body in particular is insanely good on the expander pretender, because piercing weapons are kind of what can really damage her, because it lowers protection of the thing that it is attacking. So giving her a skeletal body means that she is gonna be even harder to kill, and bark skin just raises her protection by 1, which is nice. So alteration, easy to get. We will get there quite soon. And then it's construction 2. Okay. So I skip enchantment 2 for now, apparently, because I think I decided that she can expand without personal regeneration, and it's really important for us to get construction 2 so we can start forging owl quills for boosting our research. So that's the next research target, and then I want to get evocation as soon as possible to get the lightning bolt from our storm captains, because we are going to be spamming them in every fort that we build from here on out, and right now they can't actually contribute with anything in a combat. If we look at what they are casting, I don't think they are actually casting anything. Our air shield, and then nothing. Yeah, so they're sitting here with their magic paths and not contributing. The prophet, of course, is casting his spells, but the storm captains actually cannot help in the fight in any way. Right? So right now they're useless. Alteration will give them false fetters, which is not a bad spell. It has a range 15 now. But it's sort of illusory fetters form around the ankles. Victims cannot move or fight until they have overcome the fetter's magic, right? So yeah, that's pretty good spell that they will then be allowed to cast. And same with aim helps with our archers, right? So it's fine. Getting Alteration 1 will allow them to do something. Then until we get Evocation 2, they when they get Evocation 2, they become really, really good, especially when massed in great numbers. Alright, and so the loss from taking this province here is pretty bad, but otherwise the first 5 turns here have gone exceptionally well. I feel like my position here in the ocean on this little island here, we can sail so many places. It's a really, really nice starting location for me. At this point, I've learned or decided that there is no one on this little peninsula here. So this I really wanted to make this little area my own by cutting off here. And on the other side too, it seems like there's no one here, right? So I want to make these islands here mine too. They are connected over here, so someone could come up this way. But in reality, I would want this piece of land here for me, and then of course I'm claiming this island here, and this island, and this island. The rest here is ocean tiles. This is an island too. There's an island over here, but this one can be walked to every once in a while when the seas freeze over. Same with this throne here, and then there's an island here that I would also like to make mine in time. But we're focusing on claiming this area here first. And so I think I'll cut it here. 5 turns should be good enough for episode number 1. And yeah, I hope everyone is enjoying the playthrough. I'm looking forward to going through the entire thing with you, and that's it for now. So thank you for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.